Hi everybody. Today's discussion is going to be about this really beautiful painting by Charles Blackman, one of Australia's most iconic painters. Isn't it beautiful? I love all the use of really rich blue in this artwork. And of course the lovely feel of the bird flying and the figure in the wings. And the title of the artwork is really lovely. It's called "For a Moment She Did Fly, Becoming Part of the Wings and the Wind." It's actually poetry if you think about it, and that's because this beautiful painting is actually part of a book of poetry, and this is the book here. It's called Orpheus, the Song of Forever, and it was written by Charles Blackman's lifelong friend Nadine Amadio, who's also written some other lovely art books. Unfortunately, she's passed away now, as has Charles. But during their lifetime, they collaborated on a number of beautiful creative projects. And this particular book is considered one of the more beautiful things that they worked together on. And I'm going to show you where this lovely painting is actually illustrated inside the book. And here it is here. Isn't that beautiful? And that's what we call a tipped-in plate. You see how it's hanging like that? That's a sign of a quality book. And there are only 250 editions of this beautiful book printed. It's got this gorgeous cloth cover. Look at that, which was sort of partially designed by Blackman. And it's fabric. It just feels beautiful to hold it. Each book is hand signed and hand numbered, signed by both Blackman and Nadine Amadio. And it's like the book itself is like this beautiful love story. It's a little bit tragic, but it's also beautiful as well. And it's based on a famous person from Greek mythology called Orpheus, hence the title on the front. Now, Orpheus is a really important figure in Greek mythology, and why it's beautiful, the connection with Orpheus, is that he had this amazing talent, this beautiful way of singing and writing songs, and he had a golden harp, and he was able to seduce anybody and make anything happen by virtue of the bewitching nature of the song and the music that he created. There are many beautiful stories about Orpheus in Greek mythology that I don't really have time to tell you today, but look him up, he's an incredible figure. And the Orpheus figure actually inspired Blackman to paint a beautiful series called the Orpheus series, and that was created in 1983, and various exhibitions of that occurred throughout capital cities in Australia, so it was a significant series of Blackman's. And this beautiful work and the actual beautiful book flowed on from that, and Blackman actually created the drawings for this, most likely here at Budrum, which is where my studio is, because he had a lovely studio here in the early 1980s, and he was inspired by the beautiful tropical nature of the property that he lived on, that had a lovely waterfall and an amazing garden. And during that time he created some really beautiful and quite colourful works, and you can see that in the lovely colouring that's used in this work. So because this is from this beautiful book, it's recognisable, which is a really important thing if you're collecting artwork. It's the sort of thing where you can say to somebody, my painting's in a book. Now that's a special thing when you're collecting. That's just a little tip that I'd like to give you if you're thinking about, you know, what sort of Blackman to buy. Well, it's collectible because it's, you know, there will never be any contest about its authenticity because it's actually represented in a book. And it just gives it that extra little halo of something extra than other works of Blackman's that you might be thinking of buying. And also, apart from that, how beautiful is the colouring? It's a really lovely painting. I hope you've enjoyed that story about the painting. When I first saw it, I was so excited to have it here in my studio because I'd remembered it from the book. It had been a painting that had been in my memory, and I thought I must find where that beautiful image is. And when I learned that it was in this beautiful book of poetry, I thought, well, that is just so beautiful and extra special. And I've really enjoyed telling you about it today. Feel free to come and have a look at it in my studio. I'll be open for some open days on the 13th and the 20th of December. And this is an absolute must to come and see, because how often would something beautiful and rare like this pop up for sale? Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.